It's Wednesday, and on this edition of the Sprint Car Unlimited 90 at 9, Kyle Larson and Paul Silva seem to be back in form, and more from Tuesday's High Limit event at Eagle Raceway. You already know the YouTube spiel, so we're just going to jump right in and talk about Larson's $55,555 score against a pretty stacked field that also included 4 World of Outlaw drivers. Money aside, it seems like the Larson-Silva combination has found its stride despite struggling through the early part of the season. I don't know if it was the wicker bill, maybe the tires, or a combination of both, or maybe it was just Larson not running many races. Regardless, all seems well as Larson has won his last 2 starts at Lawrenceburg and Eagle Raceway and has also been on the podium in 5 of his last 6 starts. It all starts in qualifying, and that's where Larson and Silva have upped their game. So if these two start timing well, it's going to be really hard to beat them. On yesterday's show, I mentioned the whole High Limit versus World of Outlaws debate and how we would get a glimpse of this rivalry with 4 World of Outlaw drivers jumping into the High Limit pool. I guess the High Limit faithful will be chirping today after Carson Macedo was freight trained and finished 4th in the final rundown. It should also be mentioned that he was the lone World of Outlaw driver near the front of the field. I'm going to say pump the brakes. I'm not about to deem one faction stronger than the other based on one race. And I'm quite sure the World of Outlaw regulars will have their day at Huset's or some other race this season. Still, I'm not going to lie, it's interesting to talk about. I also liked what I saw from Kerry Madsen and his new team. The Australian started 15th on the grid and charged to 3rd before slipping out of the rubber and losing 2 spots to finish 5th in the final rundown. Still, it was a solid result against a strong field. Madsen has been jumping around a little bit this season, but as of late, he's been in his own ride, a deal he put together late in the offseason with Tony Vermeer. In his last 4 starts, he has an average of 3.25, and it'll be interesting to see how he performs in the Midwest the rest of the season. Closing thought. There have been fans who have been critical of crowd size at some of the high limit events this season. I hope you keep that same enthusiasm when critiquing the size of the crowd at Eagle Raceway Tuesday night. It just goes to show you that even at the national level, there are highs and there are lows. But High Limit's going to be just fine, and I'm sure they'll make the proper adjustments in the future. Leave any questions you have for a future show in the comments section, and that wraps up this edition of the Sprint Car Unlimited 90 at 9.